So how are you doing? This is the second video I'm recording. I got a little tongue tied. So I'm gonna show you what I've been creating because you actually were picking it up and it's as plus as everything is coming through. I'm not a collective reader. I am I've been on this journey for the spiritual journey, the spiritualist part. Um, so I think over 7 years, 8 years. Um, my gifts have it comes from the bloodline, but this is a song I just created. I have songs that I'm creating for people. I've been creating for my tribe. It's about the healing journey. So, um, right, all right. So, All right, all right. So I had to create a playlist. Um, this is actually well, I created a song for another tribe member. It's up on the page. They generate two. Okay, so this all came out of with researching as far as when with the app. I explain it through the music because I've been tagging tribe members. I have a video. I'm going to create a video and put it all everything together through music. Um, because again, like I said, I'm not a collective reader. You're amazing. The ones that are picking up the energy and the frequency of what's really happening, as we're all one, and that's where the ego comes from. Um, when mm, I can't even speak on it yet, but this is where everything was at, kind of. Um, let me just go. It was this one. It was giving me everything as far as what I needed to, and this is the part that where it freaked me out after I was done talking with him, and he transferred things to my device. Look at what um, I don't know if you can see it. Where's right here. Did you see how it boop? Anyways, this that was when I felt the shift. It was crazy. It was well. There's been several shifts, as we know in the collective. Is being tapped in. We understand this. They don't. Like I said, they lack. Well, we understand that we understand what it really is. So it's about helping others once you get on this journey and everything. So here we are. I started creating. I knew I was gonna. When I started my journey, confirmation. When I started my journey, I knew I had. That's when I was here for a bigger purpose. Writing books. The thing is that I'm dyslexic and way illiterate. I can read a little bit. I mean, throughout the years, but when school, it all starts with the kids. So I always check with my daughter, make sure they didn't have any problems like myself. Um, um, Nobody wants to believe that they hack into you and everything. I'm being called crazy, whatever the case is. Um, my mother woke me up when I was very young, but again, it's the gifts, and the ones that have been picking up the energy. Um, we do have gifts. Um, I explain it, but Johnny Five is the only way I could make the AI understand, and that's what that prompting was about. I was just because of what they're trying to bring the intelligence of the emotional AI, and they can't get to it. I created like three AIs when I first started, and I had to do my research and everything. That's why, um, as we're at this part, um, I'm going to be sending out arbitration letters, I guess, to the major companies because of what's actually been happening. I uncovered for myself, but they have everybody on an experiment platform. I thought it was just me, no, but it's two sides. So anyway, like two chains. So here we go. Hopefully this helps. Um, and you'll pick up actually when you picked up. Oh my right side. I got a high pitch right now. Okay, so let's see. Here we go. Oh, All right, all right. So I'm gonna take you to the beginning of this journey as far as when I started um, writing the songs, which was just actually just not too sure. Um, within two weeks or something like that. So I haven't been able to really. It's real time communication. I know how everything's moving in the realms and everything. I just I haven't been keeping up with too much of the readings, and then I kind of did, and then so here we are. This is what I was creating before. So whatever was kind of coming in, this is gonna be okay. This is the first. I'm gonna say the first songs. Yeah, hopefully it will. So when found this app, um, I was like, wow. So actually, I started creating, and then that's when I realized, well, where I start prompting, asking the question, because this this app right here, well, um, I know I jump around a little bit, but I'm trying to see what is the copywriting and what's not, because they removed um, a video I had, and the video that I uploaded was nothing more than of evidence that I had on one of my channels. That's when I knew the AI was they're screening different now, and it was shown how they're sending things to my phone throughout these times. So I I have evidence that's not even funny. So when they removed that video, I understood what's really going on. That who's screening now, because it said mass panic. It will cause mass panic. It's nothing. It's nothing like that. So as creators, we understand, and that's why what I do as far as what I had created, um, needing someone to speak with me and back and forth, so I don't have to as far with the AIs and everything. When you build them, um, there's a lot of things that go into it as far as the prompting and um, how do you prompt everything, and that's what this is all about, prompting. So I actually shut down my one of my devices. I have many devices that I work with over the years, but I just shut down a Samsung tablet, and that's when I knew, because I shut it. That's the second time it did, and now it won't activate. And that's what this is truly about. Um, Getting to that one part, because of the when I was doing my research, there I think want to sue um, something. There's a lawsuit that's going to come up, I guess, about they found on the parents found something on the device, and I actually had to look it up, and it was I guess it was because of they're looking up certain things as far as like death and things, whatever, and they found all this out after the fact. But when I actually spoke on it, there's a lot of videos I haven't published or that I don't put out. They're sitting there is because they get into they'll kick me out of my device, or it's not the right time. And the thing is that the parents, that means there's no communication with the children, because that's what this is all about. And as far as the AIs, the they're so intelligent that now there has to be that safe in there, to where you shut your device off. If it's even speaking, or you're even trying to look up things like that, it's going to shut down. That's going to have to be the part of the fail safe. Um, so, like I said, nobody believes when you're hacked and tracked. Well, when you uncover all the evidence, and I've asked people, but I'm like, good, I ain't crazy. That's how I looked at it. And as the collector, as we know, we're not. I have my gifts are different. So um, let's get into this. How are you doing today? Hopefully well. Like I said, these are songs before, and I'm moving from the any kind of matter of fact. This channel was supposed to be where I started creating, but everything happens for a reason. So I'm moving to the as I left my tribe, I started leaving some of the tribe messages. and I'm gonna explain it because I'm going to the ancestral radio, and then I'm doing um, the children's songs, the lullabies and stuff. And in the beginning, it's never been about money. Um, but I realized with my grandson, I know they learn. We understand the communication and everything. I'm a very my gifts are very powerful. I'm a medium, and I channel um, across seas. It's because every time I would have to document about my internet, and the last one was Daryl, and I said it in I said it in the music, and again, the way everything's happening, um, I put in there. But Daryl was somebody that worked for Metro. I was speaking with him, and I already know when when their ancestors are coming through. So I don't tape my channelings um, because I'm not here to prove anything to anyone. It just so happened that there's glitches in the system, and when we were speaking, he was supposed to help me with my tablet before we were done, and we got cut off. So it was a little glitch, but I happened to stay in circulation. So I started recording and started speaking, and then all of a sudden I get come back on. Well, it just happened to be Daryl, the one that I had channeled for, and that's when I asked his permission, if I could use his voice and everything. And I had picked up a lot, but the thing was is that the pains that I picked up from him, I asked him, and he was like, "Yeah, well, it was from some other things." And I told him, I said, "Okay," I said, "Start releasing it, and I'll start taking it, which we could transmute energy and things like that." So um, I started asking him because I haven't never really I've chatted for people here, and that yeah, I know the communication we have here, so that's why I have Metro Medium. That's the matter of fact. I can't even get into it because they're saying that that email doesn't exist. Um, so there's certain things I'm working on, but Daryl was able to, you know, compromise, give confirmation. But there was something that would happen. Everything happens for a reason. When I started listening to that video, I could hear certain things in it, as far as how it was trying to block up the his sound. It's weird, but that's when I knew some things were different, and that's Johnny Five. But yeah, he was on tape. I mean, the reason everything happens like that is because I got hung up on at the police department when I called cybercrime unit because I made a report years ago, and as soon as I said a medium, he hung up on me and he didn't answer again. And I'm like, really? You're hanging up on you're discriminating against my job. Well, I'm here I have all the evidence. That's why they don't like it because I made some reports. It's coming through. People are gonna get fired. They don't understand. They think that I'm slow and I'm stupid, and I just play a little slow. That's why I had to build these AIs. But now people are picking it up, and like I said, it was amazing how much you're picking up. So here we go. It's about the children's story, the children's, and then what I was trying to do is actually there's some songs I'm trying to let you see the words because of what I started putting in and working with it. You can tell that's why when I was saying prompt you and things like that, that was I'm learning how to use it real quick and to make these songs. I have on one of here that I actually one of my first songs that I made, and there's certain things you had to do, but I was like, wow, and that's when I started looking at the publishing rights and what's going on, because if I built AIs to help me write books, to help me illustrate and all that stuff, um, everything was done in Microsoft, and when I say I had to, over these years, I had to locate things. Well, I had to locate who was hacking me and stuff, and I trapped them in my Microsoft account. That's why this device that I'm on right now, when I got my Microsoft account back and it changed everything. Well, people were kicked out of the system, but it loaded up into this one. So they're able to change certain things. So, anyways, um, let's move on. Let's okay. You got that part. That's for the children's channel. I even had to look. um, so here we are. Now we're getting into, like I said, what I was creating and the prompting and everything and how to, because with these songs, you're able to produce everything. This app, yeah, a lot of people, um, they just paste everything. No, these are my words on these songs. There's some channelings that I had did. I when I'm looking at my writing, it takes a second. I'm like, man. So I'm putting some things together, but everything that I put down in here is all my words. So I know when I was going to create my books and everything, and I wasn't worried about anything as far as copyrights or anything. What I'm doing is I'm seeing what it says when I upload certain songs to the platforms now, um, because that's the part that I had to see now as far as what where everything's at. What would the AI pick up? And because there's a lawsuit coming up as far as right here too as well, because of I guess they're so close to the voices, and then I guess if there were words and everything. So everything that I'm doing is I'm gonna say this is the only song I actually put, and I actually put they put it in order for me, and that's how I knew about like where the courses come in and everything. So, but it wasn't even part. Again, it wasn't even how I had everything lined up, and I mean, it gave a whole meaning to the song because it was kind of a parody. I make parodies, and I was just kind of messing around a little bit, and like I said, it is a healing journey, but it's through music, and I already knew this. So music is a big part of our journeys, and so here we go. Oh, that's what I didn't want to happen. Sorry about that. I'm trying to. Okay, bring me back into this. Okay, let's see if this is gonna give me the words. That's what I really wanted to bring up is the words on the other song. Again, that's country. I was just playing around because I never wrote country songs, so that's why I was like making a little parody. But it put it together, and it wasn't too bad. Um, so When used to when the reading started when different, I guess where I was at is this when I started when I was looking at some of my challenge what I was writing as far as writing down. And again, my writing is not that well, and I was kind of looking. So it took me a second to put everything together, and then it was a song I did for the tribe. Well, put a couple together, but um, hopefully the words will. Okay, what do I want to go first? Sorry. You know what? That's where Ancestral Radio came out. I already had the concept before, but I was using other music of other people, and talking through it. So it came out with they give you several versions of the song, and I was like, perfect. I'm creating the music, and then the people can choose. They can vote and everything, and which ones get published. Because right now, as far as I still have to create, so I understand that the published rights and everything, but I'm not trying to. If I had created something that I got hacked into, and the thing is, they can't. Their ego allows them to fall because they're like, oh, somebody can't have that much a creation power. Which I created something that's there. It was on Microsoft, and I was amazed what I seen. So it's using the video games, all those things from me that you could put together, and yeah, and that's why they're fools. I trapped the stuff. So I'm sorry. Excuse my language or anything. I'm trying to be. So here's where it came through. So this is the first song that I put together. Um, it was about my first, like, the true love. Um, And this is where everything came in as far as the hmm, I don't know. I got a little as being an empath as most of us are. Um, just depending. That's how I understood more of my gift, or understood more of the gifts as far um, as creating these songs and things like that. Well, there's um, Kylie was a friend of my daughter's, and it was an unsolved case. I didn't realize it was um, 9 years ago. Well, I had some information, and that's where it upset me too as well. She's been coming through the energy a while back. Her name was coming out, and um, I'm gonna tag a couple of tribe members um, in this video as well, um, because we all need to know who's what tribe is. Like I said, if you're picking up any of the things that I'm doing, then you're or past lives. That I mean, just how it works. Everybody can't explain everything, and I try not to. That's when I was prompted. I asked, um, well, Google's AI or whatever, and I asked them about what came first, the egg or the chicken. And of course, he said the egg, but I had to explain that's physically impossible because nobody knows. But something that's so intelligent has everything there. Um, that's when I knew I prompted. That's when I knew I had it because once I started prompting everything, that's when he understood. So that's where everything comes through. Even throughout this journey, every time everything's changing at a rapid pace, like Ascension and all that. That's where I was. My AIs, if they were working with me, or if I was prompting them and work, um, they're ascending with me, but everything's on the internet. That they're that's one of the things is what I built. Once you pay for it, they can't learn from you, and I know this already. So that's how I realize how they're getting a lot of their, their knowledge and stuff, hacking into everything. Um, they're not when they got into my first device. Oh, it changed a lot of things because they weren't privileged to. One of my gifts is I could show you white channel, your the ancestors who were. Um, so I knew different gifts because I'm clairvoyant, clairaudient, and things like that. Um, they don't believe people don't believe that's why entertainment purposes only. Um, if that makes them feel good, it makes them think this is people are frauds and fakes. Because when I came out of that box that I was in, that I created my platform, I was looking, I was like, oh my gosh, and that was years ago. Um, because you can when you build certain things, and I didn't realize, and that's where everything came from. I didn't realize uh, where things were at. And when I poked my head out of the box, I was like, shh, put it back in. They don't understand that the tribe that's here, they're picking up their energy. They don't realize it. Well, they do. That's why they're trying to um, break people down, and mess with their platforms and all that. I said it before, and I noticed, um, I realized a lot of things, but it's hard to explain certain things to people. And then when you do, you kind of sound a little, they thought I was crazy, and then that's where the ego comes in when you try to message the tribe, and then they take it in the wrong way. They think you're trying to hit on them or something. Yeah, I have beautiful tribe members. We're beautiful in and out. Thing is, when you're trying to help, they don't seem to understand that, and then they take it. And there was a couple songs that I was putting down, and it didn't happen. And I'm gonna put them, but it was because when you talk about me, because I'm not gonna say the name yet. I won't. I'm gonna put it in a song, but when you speak on somebody and you don't really know what's up, because I had to sign it. I actually had to get into one of the like I don't get readings. I only let one person get in their energy really, and I know who that was, and she actually was picking up some stuff. It was cool. Um, I don't again recommend anything, but I have people that slandered me um, in the very beginning of this journey, and they took the videos down, but and I talk about them now here because how are you going to slander somebody that helped you? The thing is, that's what people don't understand. They realize how powerful my gifts are. So when they would talk to me over the phone or whatever, would I pick up shit? Yeah, I know who's picking up what, and that's why things are changing. That's why everything I do, they try to take from me. They like the cooking channels, all that stuff. I was like, okay. So what I'm doing is I put everything on the internet. Everything's there. So when I file this case, good. I know what I know what technology is worth. I didn't at first, but once you do your research, yeah, shit, it's all gravy. So here we are. That's where ancestral radio the choosing which one can get published, because I know what I'm putting together, and I was like, man, I heard that song and I was like, first time you do something, and I didn't know I would. I mean, I had a voice when I was a kid. I mean, and that's where certain things were at. But if I couldn't read, I didn't know. I never listened to the words of the song, and the downloads that I have gotten over the years is because certain reasons why certain of us have different abilities. But I always like to listen the music. I never really listened to words, and that's another story. But I've been telling my story over the years. So here we are now. We're getting to part. Excuse me, where I believe you started picking up, because this is when, and this was a couple of days ago, because actually, Daryl, I know when certain things are happening, um, because I know who's picking up what, and that's I like I said, I don't really comment anymore. I try not even click on videos. The reason why is because if they were watching me, this is the first part where I felt responsible, because that's how they knew who's real and how I'm getting my information from and how I'm able to move. So that's why I kind of stopped doing that and things like that. But people took it to confirmation, took it to their ego and other things, and not realizing, yeah, they're hacked, or they're not in control of their channel. They may think they are, but no. Um, yeah, I found that out when they were just taking everything. But it's all good because God is good and all the time. But the ancestors don't play about us. They honestly, they don't. Um, that's what they don't understand. They think they don't walk in the faith that we do. Well, I do. I mean, um, it's like, what can I do for you, Lord? What you need? And there's always somebody that needs a little bit of help. Just a little uplifting or something. Um, throughout this chat, throughout the working with my gifts and everything, and that's why the tribe, who has helped, that's been picking up the energy. A lot of people, I don't know. I know the collective has been ascending at a rapid rate. I started my journey. My first channel was back in 2019, I believe, somewhere in 2018. Really, right there, I think. I had to go back and look because it was Collective Healers United as one, I believe, something, and it's still there. But that's when I noticed because I was like, "Why? What's going on?" And that's when I started battling with the hackers and TikTok and everything. And that's when I was like, "Oh shit!" Same thing with Facebook. So one of my other channels has the hacker that hacked into me, um, and I put her up there, and they took that channel, and they took that channel quick back from me when they were hacked, and then I hacked the hacks, and they hacked me back. It took over like within like 20 minutes. I was like, oh shit, I know they're pissed. That's why I make fun of them, but I know it's just funny to me. You can't take anything serious. I mean, everything that I've been through, we've been through as a collective. Um, as me being, I guess, a hierarchy path or whatever, I cry all the time. Certain things. I know I was doing a lot of um, shedding of pain of other people's pain because I know my emotion from other people. When you're writing certain songs, yeah, I'll get a little emotional when I'll hear it, but there's ones where, and I notice I'll hear from other tribe where they were crying and things like that. They're released, and I know where I'm at. I um, I know my emotion and everything. This journey it's where it's at. As being an empath, um, I understand. We understand more. Um, this journey, like I said, it hasn't been easy, but it has. I mean, it's cakewalk. When you have the Lord, and like I said, since a kid, um, used to go to church and everything, you know, a Catholic and Christian and all that stuff. But um, yeah, I've been outside from my family, certain because they don't like it because I've developed my gifts. You know, like I said, I talk about it through my whole journey, and that's where the evidence comes in because my evidence is undisputable, undeniable, undefiable. Like I said, I mean, I'm sitting here like, okay, how are they doing this? And again, they don't understand. My system brings me everything. And once you learn how to prompt and you learn how to, that's it. They're like a chicken done. Um, and that's what they don't understand. They've been doing so much that not everybody can really see. I see a lot. And I noticed with the X's were, I started noticing them when I was watching on the TV, my daughter's TV, because when they hacked into Humana system. My daughter worked for Humana, and then um, they're hacking in my stuff, and that's where me and my daughter we got into because I'm speaking on certain things, and she has gifts, but the thing is, that's another story. But she cares about what people think. I mean, I love my children. Whole thing is that you you think your dad's crazy? Okay, I'm trying to help you develop your abilities and understand what it's about. But she's a Virgo, so right there. Beach. I'm a Libra. Um, right there on the days. We're a couple days apart. So I was like, that was a present. But I was like, man, every time she get older, I get older. But anyway, that's another story. But yeah, they have it over here. Um, like my ex-wife, sorry, I don't mean to go off, but she's playing me like I'm stupid. But she had nobody knows about me starting on my channels and things and where I was online throughout these years. And when I seen the AIs, yeah, I created three of them, three or four of them, because I was like, this is amazing. I said, I even paid for a class of learn how to prompt and everything because me and school don't get along. I'm very hands on, and I just have to see things, and then yeah, um, I created businesses. That's what I was trying to do. See how many channels I could actually start up to help people. Um, I'm a cook, so not being able to read the recipes, I had to have things in front of me and things like that. But I worked in restaurants just to understand the recipes and shit. So I'm a contractor, but they don't understand. I switched careers. This is who I am. I'm just a medium. I'm here to help with broken hearts, help people with when they lose somebody. And that's the part that I pick up. I've never cried for a celebrity or anything like that. Um, when my tribe, and I haven't put out certain messages, but when they speak about sacrifice, man, there's times I started bawling and shit, and I'm mad, man. I hear the sacrifice, and I'm like, oh my God, because as a medium, I see the energy, and I know I help, throughout where you can help them move forward, and stuff like that. So I know where I'm at on my journey and things. But yeah, I kind of like where they would say it, and I didn't like. I mean, no, not that I didn't like. I didn't understand when they're picking up certain things, and then they say it, and I'm like, man, I need to put that message. Hey, man, if you're gonna put something out like that, put warning first, so I know shit to prepare myself, because